A person that converts for marriage only and not converting because of the will of Hashem is not to be considered Jewish. Now, if they already were with somebody that one was Jewish, one was not Jewish, and they stayed together, but they ended up converting because of Hashem, not because of the marriage, but they benefited as a result of conversion. They ended up kosherizing their marriage. That's not a problem. But if they only converted for the sake of marriage, it's not a conversion at all. It's completely fake. Doesn't matter what the Beit Din says. The Beit Din was fooled, unfortunately, and not Beit Dins do not have Ruach HaKodesh. They don't have prophecy. They don't know why everybody's converting. You could fool a Beit Din. They're just people. They're Talmidei Chachamim, but they're people. They're flesh and blood. So they don't know who's lying, who's not lying. But someone that converts for the wrong reason, they're in Shemaim, they're not considered Jewish. They dip into the mikveh Miriam, they dip into the mikveh Maria, they stay Maria. They dip into the mikveh Jose, they stay Jose. But if they dip for the right reason, she dips into the mikveh Maria, she comes out Sarah. He dips into the mikveh Jose, he comes out Yaakov. Tzaddik. Why? The right reason. What's in their heart? Who knows what's in their heart? HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They could fool the Dayanim, they could fool their husband, their wife, the community, they could fool everybody. They cannot fool Hashem. And they'll get punished for it. Now, people that do that, there's no one stupider than them in the world. There's no one stupider than them in the world. Why? Because it was better off for them not to do anything. Because now they're just increasing the sin even worse. Because now they're making other people think that they're Jewish, to treat them as Jewish, and potentially they could have kids, and they're going to have kids that are going to marry other kids, and their kids most likely going to have very difficult lives, and most likely going to even die young. Why? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu has to destroy that seed. Sometimes you see people die young, that's the reason. Why? HaKadosh Baruch Hu sometimes has to destroy people in order not to allow their seed to continue in the world. It's not always the reason, but it is a reason. Just like HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, he's not going to allow the seed of a mamzer continue in the world. But sometimes mamzerim are alive. Someone that had a child with a woman that was married to somebody else, that child is a mamzer. Now, if the husband of that woman doesn't know and she continues pretending like he's their son, guess what? At some point or another, Hashem is going to have to either kill that kid or his kids or not allow him to reproduce because he does not want the seed of that mamzer to continue in the world. I met somebody who did not know he's a mamzer until he was almost 40, 50 years old. 40, 50 years old, didn't know that he was a mamzer. He only found out from his mom on her deathbed that she did something that was not allowed. And he was a mamzer. 6 months later, his son died, and his kid. His son and grandson died in the same day. 6 months later, his son and his grandson died in the same day. How? Car exploded for no reason. They want to go to the park, turn on the car, boom. Not mafia, not gangsters, nothing. Just exploded. Something went wrong with the gas tank. Wrong. Kadosh Baruch Hu exploded the car. Both of them died. His continuation, his seed died. I saw this with my own eyes. Sometimes Hashem does things like this. So, as far as conversion, if it's the right conversion, it is difficult. Why is it difficult? First and foremost, it's important to know if the person is real. If the person is really converting for the right reason, it doesn't matter how difficult it is, they're going to stay strong. Why? Because a convert, if they know that this is the way they're going to live for the rest of their life, it doesn't matter how long it's going to take to convert. It doesn't matter how difficult it is, because they know that this is what they're going to do for the rest of their life anyway. They're going to keep Torah and mitzvot anyway. They're going to learn Torah and mitzvot anyway. They're going to do everything that they're doing now for the conversion forever anyway. So what difference does it make if I convert today or I convert in a year from now? It doesn't make a difference. So anyone that complains about how difficult a conversion is usually doesn't end up converting. Or if they convert, they're usually one of these problematic converts. There's a lot of problematic converts. But people that are real righteous converts, they suffer, but they don't complain. They continue plugging away and they continue going until they convert for the right reason. B'ezrat Hashem, Hashem gives them the siyata d'shmaya. I've seen it with my own eyes. People that are fake converts and people that are real converts. And you see that the fake converts, they're a disaster, and they always are looking for a shortcut, and they always find some fool to convert them. And they fool everybody else, but you see shortly after they go back to their wicked ways, and they're just a disaster. The righteous converts, you see that their lives are very different. From the beginning, you see these people going the right path, and Baruch Hashem, their lives are blessed. They may have difficulties, but they know that there's Avinu Shebashamayim, there's our Father in heaven that helps them along the way. Now, so the first thing is the Bet Din needs to make sure, and the rabbi that's sponsoring people needs to make sure that the person is genuine. If the person is looking for a handout or for quickly to convert, you cannot verify if this person is legitimate. Second thing is, in order to convert, you need a few things. You need to know how to be a Jew. You cannot convert as a secular Jew. You can't convert and say, listen, I want to convert, but I don't want to keep Shabbat. Then you don't want to be a Jew. If you convert, you have to be Haredi. You have to be the most religious person you know. That's how it converts. Why? Because last week you drove on Shabbat as a goy, it's not a problem. But as a Jew, you drive on Shabbat, it's death penalty. So why would you convert and bring a death penalty to your life? Just don't convert. You're allowed to drive on Shabbat as a goy. Why bring it to your life to be a Jew and to drive on Shabbat? Meaning, if you're going to convert, you have to be Haredi. You have to be the most religious person you know. People that convert and fool people, fool the Bet Din, fool the husband, fool the wife, and don't plan on keeping Shabbat, don't plan on keeping mitzvot, these people are fake. They're not converts, and all of their kids are goyim. And even if they started as righteous, they had good intentions initially, but then they fell off the derech, they're still Jews, but they're stupid. Why? It was better off they stayed goyim, because at least they wouldn't have been punished. Now they're going to be punished. Now they're going to go to Gehenna if they don't do tshuva. So, it's important for people to know what they're doing. It takes time to know what you're doing. A few months to learn the basics at least, and at least a year to go through the holidays, to know, do you even want to be part of the nation? Second thing is, you need to live in a Jewish community. You cannot be a new Jew in the middle of Montana by yourself and your next door neighbor's a horse. You have to live in a Jewish community to know that there's a tefillah, when to go to pray, when there's holiday, how to shake your lulav, how to build a sukkah, what to do. You need to live in a Jewish community. You can't be a Jew by yourself just because you're reading books. You have to be part of a community. Now, a Jewish community is difficult? Yes. That's part of being Jewish. You don't like difficulty? Don't be Jewish. Jews are experts in difficulty. That's what we're experts in. We're the best in difficulty in the world. What kind of difficulty? Difficulty we give each other, difficulty we give ourselves, difficulty we give to Hashem, difficulty. We like problems. Why? That's what we are. Am Kshe Oref, stubborn nation. We don't like each other for no reason. You look at a guy, his nose is not that big to you, not that small to you, not that straight to you, you don't like him for no reason. He's Ashkenazi, you don't like him. He's Faradi, you don't like him. He's Yemenite, you don't like him. He's black, you don't like him. Why? No reason. Sinat Chinam. If you love everybody, you should question, maybe you're not Jewish. If you love everybody, there's something wrong with you. I'm not really sure. Maybe convert, right? Oh, convert. Oh, yeah, that's what you love everybody. You're a convert. Why? Because we have Am Kshe Oref. We're stubborn people. Now, of course, you're supposed to love everybody. It's an obligation to love everybody. But it's tough to love everybody. Why? Because you love yourself too much. So these are some of the difficulties that converts deal with. It's a life adjustment. A lot of converts are idealistic. They think that they're going to come, they're going to convert, they're going to join the nation, and it's going to be like Mount Sinai. There's no Mount Sinai. There's no Mount Sinai. You're not coming into Mount Sinai. Forget that. That's Olam Haba you're talking about. Here, it's difficult. You go to a community, sometimes they're not going to like you. Why? Because they don't like you. They won't accept you. Maybe because you're a convert, maybe because you're a different color, maybe because you're too tall, you're too short, you're too rich, you're too poor. They just don't want to like you for different reasons. You have to understand this comes with it. If your conversion is based on the Jews, don't convert. Again, if you're converting for Jewish people to like you, do not convert. The only reason to convert is to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu the best you possibly can as a human being. That's the only reason to convert. Whether the Jewish people like you or not is irrelevant. Whether the Jewish people are perfect or not is irrelevant. You have to be perfect. The obligation is on you. They also have an obligation, but just because everyone else is failing on the test doesn't mean that you're allowed to fail also. So, if you're converting for people, don't convert. Do us a favor. We have enough problems already. So, a lot of people are idealistic, and they come in, they think that they're going to convert, they're going to move to Eretz Yisrael, and over there, there's no problems, there's no lefty liberals and homosexuals. What are you talking about? There's more over there sometimes than here. You go to Tel Aviv, Hashem Yechem, it's Sodom and Gomorrah is calling from Gehenom, says this is worse. So it's not perfect, but there are holy people in Am Yisrael. You go to different places, different Jewish communities, you're always going to find tzaddikim. You're always going to find special people. In every Jewish community, you're always going to find a few special people. Connect to them. Look for them. Don't look to become friends with everybody. Is one person, 1,000 people in the community, one tzaddik, connect to the one tzaddik. Oh, but he's too busy. Okay, so he's too busy. He's too busy. He's too busy. So the key is to understand, conversion is not supposed to be easy. Why not? Because Am Yisrael has been fighting and sacrificing their life for 3,300 years just to maintain being Am Yisrael. What do you think? Just because you read a few books, you're going to join us without suffering? We've been suffering for 3,000 years. The least you can do is suffer for a few years. We're experts at suffering. What do you think? You're going to read a few books and you're going to just join? No, you have to suffer a little bit. Why? Because that's part of being a Jew. Now guess what? If you know the truth, you know that the Torah is the truth, and you can convert. You can convert. But you choose not to. Because you're not ready yet. You're 18 years old. You figure, I'm going to do when I'm 25. I'm going to do when I'm 30. I'm going to do it later on. Gemara says Hashem will punish you for it. Wait a minute, but I converted. I didn't have to convert. No, you didn't have to. But now that you converted, Hashem's going to punish you. Why? Why'd you delay? Why'd you delay your conversion? You knew that you're supposed to serve me with 613 mitzvot? How come you delayed? No, I didn't know. Oh, you should have known. Now, if the delay is not your fault, that's not your problem. But if the delay is your fault, you'll get punished for it. Even if you convert and you're righteous. That's why sometimes converts, they start off their life with a very, very difficult life. It's part of the punishment for delaying. Now, there's not a single convert in the world that went through the same test as Onkelos. I have one student in Eretz Yisrael. When he told his father he wants to convert, his father tried to kill him. He shot him. He missed. Shot him with shotgun. Shot him with shotgun, but he missed, Baruch Hashem. The kid ran away. Baruch Hashem arrived at Eretz Yisrael. I was with him the whole way, giving him some guidance, miskin, going from place to place. Baruch Hashem arrived in Eretz Yisrael after a couple of years, 2-3 years. Baruch Hashem converted in Bnei Brak. Tzaddik learns Torah. Now, he had surprise. Why? His father tried to kill him, mamash. Onkelos didn't happen to him once, multiple times. Why? Because Onkelos was the next in line to be the Caesar. He was royalty. He was the next in line to be the Caesar. But he says, no, I want to be part of the slaves. What part of the slaves? What are you talking about? Only part of Am Yisrael. What are you talking about? We're killing Jews in the streets. Just for being Jews. Yeah, I want to be part of them. The Caesar sent people to his house. Says, go bring him here. We'll bring him bring him over here. They brought some people to his house. He told them a few things. They all converted too. Caesar sent some more people to his house. Said, but don't let him talk to you. Don't let him talk to you. They went to his house. He started talking. He said, no, you're not allowed to talk. We're going to kill you. Okay, no problem. No problem. Okay, just come with us. On the way out, he kissed the mezuzah. They asked him, why'd you kiss the mezuzah? What is that? He says, no, see, your king, you have to protect him. Why? He's scared. He's sitting inside a castle, and the only thing he can do is protect you maybe over there. But in reality, you need to protect him. He says, my king, he's everywhere. I just have to kiss the mezuzah to remind myself I love my king, I love his mitzvot, because my king protects me everywhere. He's not like your king, right? I need to protect him. My king protects me. They converted also. He kept sending people. Every person he sent them converted, and eventually they let him go. Meaning that Onkelos put his life on the line day in, day out. He knew that if he converts, they're going to kill him with cold blood. He didn't know that Hashem is going to save him, make miracles, or anything like that. Like Avraham Avinu jumped into the fire, he didn't know that Hashem is going to take him out of the fire. So, the tzaddikim, they don't know that Hashem is going to save them. But they still do it, and that's what makes them tzaddikim. So Onkelos sacrificed his life day in, day out, and gave up royalty for the sake of being part of the slaves, just because Torah is in it. No one in the world, Baruch Hashem, needs to go through that type of test, but needless to say, people go through their own tests. So is conversion difficult? Yes. Can it be easier? Yes. Are you going to benefit? Are you going to be the one that's going to be easier for or not? It all depends. Some people have an easy conversion. Some people have a hard conversion. But I can tell you for sure, I've never met a single person, convert or natural born Jew, that has an easy life. No one has an easy life. I had one person that had an easy conversion, very hard life. Another person had a very hard conversion, very easy life since. Some mix a little hard here, hard there, easy here, easy there. Different people have different tests. But the point is that don't look for conversion to be easy. It's not part of the equation.